What's up, what's up, what's up? It's your man, Chazzellis, once again, answering the questions that you asked me. Today's question was how to deal with a ratchet baby daddy. I did a series once called How to Deal with a Ratchet Baby Mama. Ladies want to know how to deal with the ratchet baby daddy. That was a little more complicated because there are really 3 different kinds of ratchet baby daddies. So I had to break this down into 4 parts. And you'll see why. I'm going to get right into it because this could end up being kind of long. So I'm going to try to really just get right into it. As I said, there are 3 kinds of ratchet baby daddies. There's the obsessed baby daddy, the deadbeat baby daddy, and the destructive baby daddy. Now, the obsessed baby daddy is pretty self-explanatory. It's somebody who's going to come at you on a daily basis, no matter what you do, won't leave you alone. The deadbeat baby daddy is somebody who just doesn't do anything to try to take care of the kids, won't really help you out at all, that kind of guy. The destructive baby daddy is the dude that just constantly does everything in his power to try to fuck up your life. And mostly is really just talking shit to the kids, stuff like that, telling them bad stuff about you, just trying to sabotage you. Those are the 3 types of baby daddies that you deal with that are ratchet as hell. And I'm going to tell you how to deal with them. This video is going to be about the obsessed baby daddy and how to deal with that. And then the subsequent videos will be each kind of the baby daddies that I just mentioned. And the last one will be how to deal with somebody who's a combination of all 3. Some of y'all are waiting on that, and that's crazy if you're dealing with that. That sucks. But anyway, the first baby daddy is the obsessed baby daddy. Now, step 1 to dealing with an obsessed baby daddy is to diagnose what you're dealing with. What I mean by that is most of you are not dealing with an obsessed baby daddy. Most of you are dealing with somebody who has been an ex, a friend with benefits, whatever you have turned your relationship in, and they are stepping out of their bounds and they won't go away in the timely manner that you would like for them to. Here's what I mean. You've been broken up with somebody for like 2 or 3 years. And throughout your relationship, say your relationship lasted 5, 6 years, whatever. And y'all were off and on throughout that entire time. Okay? And in the 2 years that y'all been broken up, you guys have hung out with each other from time to time. You guys have had sex, from time to time in that 2-year breakup. And now, you've moved on really in your mind. You don't really want to be with that person anymore. So you're tired of them and they won't go away. They won't just leave you alone when you decide for them to leave you alone because you found somebody new or because you no longer really want to be around them. They won't leave you alone in the timely manner that you would like for them to. See, this is not an obsessed baby daddy. This is somebody who has good reason to feel like you might get back together one day because you have in the past. Now, I'm not telling you this to beat you up. I'm not telling you this to belittle the situation that you're going through. What I'm doing is I'm telling you how to diagnose the situation so you can start working on it. Because if you're dealing with somebody like that, somebody that you have been giving some pussy from time to time, somebody that you have been hanging out with, somebody that whenever you're going through a bad situation, you talk to them about your problems. If you're dealing with somebody like that, that means that they've had encouragement and reason to believe that you might get back together. So you have to be honest with yourself and say, am I contributing to this? Am I having sex with this person? Even if you had sex with them 6 months ago, if y'all have been broken up for a year and then got back together, that means that they have good reason to believe if you fucked them 6 months ago, that you might get back together again, just like you did before. They're not crazy for coming at you on a regular basis because it's been working. They're not crazy. You're crazy. You're crazy if you feel like all of a sudden you're supposed to tell this dude, I don't want to talk to you anymore, and it's over. And then you come back and start fucking him again. And then think he's just going to go away. Come on now. That's like dudes that do that and then call a girl crazy. It's like, I don't know why she keep following me. I mean, I fucked her, yeah, but I don't know why she keeps bothering. Because you fucking her. Come on now. Okay. So diagnose the situation. If you're not dealing with an obsessed baby daddy, if you're dealing with somebody who you've given some encouragement to, all you have to do to get rid of them is stop giving them encouragement. Don't fuck them. Don't talk to them about anything that doesn't have to do with the kids. Don't even talk to them on the phone. Just text messages. That's it. Don't go over their house. Don't let them come over yours. If you got to exchange children, meet them somewhere like McDonald's or something like that, or a park, or what. Well, probably not a park, but just somewhere where you're comfortable with, where there are a lot of people. And then eventually they'll go away on their own. And if you do have a new boyfriend or something like that, because a lot of women and men, people in general they'll do this where they'll have a new person and they'll hide it from the other person. Like, oh, well, if I was to tell them that I was fucking somebody else, they would just go crazy. But they don't go crazy when you fuck them? Boy, stop. You know good and well you don't want to tell them about that shit because you don't want to close that door on yourself completely until you know for sure that that's what the direction you want to go in. So here's what you want to do. Close that door. If you start talking to somebody else, let them know about it. You don't got to necessarily tell them, but don't hide it from them, and they'll figure it out. Because that'll help them get through the process and be over it. Okay? And that may be something you're afraid of a little bit. But that's how you get rid of someone who you're giving encouragement to. Stop giving encouragement, create a structure, and be totally honest. Do all three. Okay. Now, some of you, not a lot of you, but some of you are actually dealing with an obsessed baby daddy. My condolences. Because that sucks. That sucks. The reason why I did the diagnosis first is because the shit that you have to do to get rid of an obsessed baby daddy is tough and radical. And you don't want to do that unless you have to. That's why I did the diagnosis first. Because if you don't have to do this shit, you don't want to. Okay. First thing you have to do when you're dealing with an obsessed baby daddy, you've diagnosed that that's what this is you have to get in the psychology of an obsessed baby daddy. I'm going to do that for you right now. What makes an obsessed baby daddy the way that they are? Number one, they seek control. He might be a real arrogant dude. He might be somebody who just doesn't really have anything else. Whatever the case may be, he seeks to control you and control the situation. Sound familiar? The next thing that you're really thinking about in the psyche of an obsessed baby daddy is they feel like you owe them something. They feel like you owe them some level of loyalty. I made you, bitch. If it wasn't for me, you would never be nothing. None of these dudes would be checking for you if it wasn't for me, bitch. Stuff like that. That's how they really think in their mind. They feel like it may be because they pay child support. They feel like I pay you child support, so therefore I should be able to come to your house and fuck you anytime I want to. Because I'm paying to take care of my own damn kids. You owe me for that. This is mine. Whatever the case may be. They may feel like just because you have kids by them, they have some ownership over you because they're their children. You don't need no other man to be around my kids. They're my kids. Bitch, if I ever catch you with anybody else, that kind of stuff. This is not through any fault of your own. You're not doing anything to this person. It's just that they feel you owe them something and they're not going to change their mind. That's why you're dealing with someone who's obsessed. You don't have the ability to change their mind. It's nothing you can do to make them feel like they don't think like you don't owe them anything. So it's not your fault that person is following you around and bothering you. You're not giving them any encouragement. You haven't been sleeping with them and they keep fucking with you. You haven't been talking to them when they try to call you, but they keep calling you. They pop up at your house. All kinds of crazy shit. So that's the psyche of that person. They feel like you owe them something and they want control. That's what their problem is. So now that you know that, you know a little bit of, it's going to make sense when I tell you a little bit of what you have to do. Number one thing you have to do, relocate. Get out of Dodge. That's the first step to getting rid of an obsessed baby daddy. Get out of Dodge. And this is going to make sense to you why. When you leave, you don't need to tell anybody who talks to them where you're going. Their family don't need to know where you're going. If you got family members that fuck with them, don't tell them where you are going. Even with the children, you want to make sure that you don't talk to them about it at the last minute if they're still communicating with the dad. And the reason why is because you don't want them telling the dad where you're going. You want to make sure they know, hey, once I tell you guys about where we're moving, you don't need to tell your dad nothing. And then you want to make sure you wait to tell them exactly where you're going. So that they can't tell, depending on their age, so they can't tell the dad where they're going. And most of the time, if they're old enough, they'll know the dad is kind of crazy and won't tell them. But, you got to assess that situation on your own. But you want to make sure that you don't give him any means to figure out where you live. Now, the next thing you want to do is cut off communication. Now, you're probably like, wait a minute. Why relocate first? The reason why I said relocate first is because if you're dealing with a truly obsessed person, the minute you cut off communication, if they know where you live, they come into your house. They come into your house. They come into your job. They fucking with you no matter where you are. That's how these people roll. They're not going to stop messing with you. So that's why I said you got to relocate first, because that gives them no way to find you. Now they can get pissed off all they want to, but they can't find your ass. And that's the key. Okay, so that's what you want to do. When you cut off that communication, you want to already have left, so they can't find you. You want to put your job on notice and say, look, I'm dealing with a crazy ass nigga. He shows out. And let them know. They might already know because he might already done some crazy stuff in the past. But you want to let everybody know. Put people on notice that, hey, this dude might start showing out because I'm not dealing with his crap anymore. Okay. The next step you're going to have to do, and you're going to have to be real with this. You're going to have to be firm. Go legal. And follow through. Because here's what's going to happen. You're going to cut off communication with this person. And when you cut off communication, this is going to be tough to do. But like I said, this is why you have to make sure he's obsessed to do this. Don't send the kids over there. Don't meet up with them, with the kids. None of that. You're going to have to, cut off communication, all communication, even about the children. Don't, because he's crazy. You see what I'm saying? You can't try to follow normal people rules with a crazy person. Doesn't work that way. You got to cut off all communication, even him and the kids. Can't do anything. Okay. Now, when I said go legal, I said go legal because when you cut off communication, he's going to start going nuts. And he's not going to be able to find you. So, most likely he's going to start threatening you. He's going to get nice and then threaten, get nice, then threaten. He's going to go back and forth with both of those things. Nice, threaten, nice, threaten. He's just going to get a little bit nutty because he's losing control. Remember, that's why we delved into the psyche. It's about control with this person, and they feel like you owe them something. So he's going to go crazy. He's going to be like, man, you owe me more than just to stop talking to me. Fuck you. He's going to start making threats and stuff like that. Now, if he does start making threats, you want to immediately go legal. Get a restraining order. And then if you're dealing with somebody who has something to lose, like somebody's got a job and stuff like that, as a real regular person, you want to tell them once you get to that restraining order, hey, if you call me threatening me and start acting stupid again, I'm telling the police and you're going to jail. When you tell him that, a normal person is going to say, well, she got the restraining order. She might really follow through. And he might stop fucking with you. If he doesn't, clearly you got to call the police. You got to follow through. Once he gets arrested, normal people get arrested one time and they leave you alone. That's what normal people do. Now, if you're dealing with a total, complete nut job, unfortunately, you're going to have to do a little bit more than that. You're going to probably, if you're dealing with somebody who has nothing to lose and is worthless, you're probably going to just have to keep on getting them prosecuted until they go to jail for a long period of time. Unfortunately, you can't deal with everybody. So, we're going to talk about what you do with a regular person who, once they get in trouble, they stop. Because that's what the average person, if you're not dealing with somebody who gets in trouble one time and stops, you're dealing with a loser. You're dealing with a complete nut job. Can't work with them. Got to just get them put in jail over and over again. They'll get over it. Eventually, they'll stop. Or they'll go to jail forever. Who gives a fuck? They're crazy. So anyway, with a regular person, follow through. Once they get in trouble that first time, they're going to be hesitant to do something stupid again. And they're going to be trying to figure out how they can work their way around this to where they can see their kids again, to where they can possibly talk to you one day in the future. Because now they know the threats and shit ain't going to work. So, when they get to that point, that's when you reestablish communication and visitation with boundaries. Okay, you text that person at this point. And you say, because phone calls are out of the question. That's in both of these situations. If you're dealing with an obsessed baby daddy or you're dealing with somebody who you've given encouragement with. Either way, phone calls are out of the question. Never accept phone calls, never make phone calls. Only text messages in emails. Emails and text messages. Why? Because it gives them no deniability. When somebody has the ability to deny things, you don't want that. And you don't want them to hear your voice. Because when someone hears your voice, it restarts that crazy again. Because now they feel like they can communicate with you. They feel like they can reach out and touch you because they can talk to you. Okay, so you don't want to do that. You want to reestablish communication. You want to contact them via via email or text. And you want to let them know the ground rules of what it's going to take for them to be able to be in their children's lives again and how that's going to go. Okay, now when you reestablish that communication, you want to tell them where you're going to meet to drop kids off. Now, if you want to meet with them, you don't have to even meet. You can have someone else come and drop the kids off if that's more comfortable for you. You know the level of crazy you're dealing with. And you want to make sure that they can't go any farther outside of the box than they have been. So if you know they're too crazy for you to meet with them, then go ahead and have somebody else do it. Or get a police escort, because police will do that. So, or meet at the courthouse. That works too. Most people ain't going to do something crazy if they know they're going to go to jail. We've already established that this is not the nut job. This is a regular person that you're dealing with. If you're dealing with a nut job, don't even try this shit. Just put them in jail over and over and over again. If you're dealing with a regular person, this is how you do it. Meeting places. You meet somewhere, don't have a conversation with them on any level whatsoever. Drop the kid off, leave. If your kids are big enough that they can get outside the car on their own, don't even get out of the car. Keep the door closed. Boom. Kids, hey, there goes your dad. Have them park close. Here goes your dad. Bye. Don't let him come up to your car. Don't come up to his car. And when you start doing that, when that communication is completely cut off, when every time they get the kids, they don't get a chance to talk to you, what happens eventually is their emotions start to die down because they're dealing with a structure. They're dealing with someone who is completely in control. They don't have the control anymore. So it makes it not as fun to deal with you because you don't seem afraid anymore. You don't seem like every time they do something crazy, you just take more control. Now they know the only way to get control or to be able to have any level of control is to play the game the way you tell them to. No phone calls. No interaction whatsoever. And as you start rebuilding that communication with that structure, it's going to make it easier for you to deal with them. So that's how you rebuild. That's how you deal with this type of person. Okay, like I said, part 2 will be coming up. It's your man, Chaz Hope I answered all your questions. If you have any additional questions, just hit me up in the inbox or whatever, or comment box or whatever. Just hit me up that way. I'm on Facebook also, on askchazzellis on Facebook. Not that many people hit me up on that site. So you got the best chance of getting answered quickly if you go to askchazzellis on Facebook. Those get the quickest answers. Okay, so hope I was able to help you out. Once again, like and subscribe. It's your man, Chaz Ellis. Peace.